Assassin's Creed Valhalla has done it yet again. It's changed Assassin's Creed a lot. Assassin's Creed Valhalla has tweaked, adjusted, and improved the RPG-focused approach of Assassin's Creed Odyssey to make Valhalla a smoother assassin simulator in some ways, but could be adding some unnecessary complexity. I went braces on with Assassin's Creed Valhalla and got to gallop, stab, and explore my way around East Anglia, raid some poor little village, and fight a sword-wielding saint. But more on her later. Here's 18 ways Assassin's Creed Valhalla changes the Assassin's Creed formula yet again. One of the biggest things that's changed about Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the way quests work. I'm not sure whether it was because of the section of the game I was playing, but I didn't run into what I'd call a side quest, instead encountering one of the new types of quests in Valhalla. There's 3 in total: wealth, mysteries, and secrets. Each of these quest types are fairly short, with mysteries being snapshots of life in medieval England.
What a handsome cat. Hello, friend of Freya.
Wealth leading you to hidden treasure, and secrets showing you where collectibles are hidden. Mysteries are by far the best thing out of those 3 new quest categories, as they're kind of bizarre but endearing little stories that are the kind of thing you'll regale to chums after running into, say, a nun who slaughtered a church full of Danes, or a girl trying to summon a deaf horse.
I do not think the horse can hear you.
That horse can't hear anything.
Or convincing a snow-white cat to chill with you on your longship.
Every longship needs a brave cat for luck, and for the rats.
Honor yourselves, men!
Assaults are new to Valhalla too. These large-scale attacks on key strongholds are critical to forging alliances with specific groups and clans, and you need to bust your way in, then bust your way through the location. Ram through gates, kite the legions of soldiers trying to stop you and your fellow Danes, then take on the boss at the very end. More powerful, varied enemies lie in wait in assaults too. Like the speedy berserkers, use a shield to catch them off guard and disrupt their ecstasy, and slayers, who hit hard and tower above your other foes. If you run out of assaults to do, you can launch smaller scale raids on unsuspecting villages. Which leads me quite nicely onto the fact that alongside main story quests there are raids, which are pretty self-explanatory and, luckily for you, come naturally to Vikings. Raids are intense mini-assaults that feel a lot more personal than the forts and camps you can pillage in Odyssey to get nation chests and war supplies. Succeed in pillaging a village and you'll take away resources for your own settlement. And it's not too hard to pick which village to raid, because along the coastlines and waterways of England, you'll find settlements that automatically treat you with suspicion. And they're right to. And I guess if they're already looking down their nose at you, you don't have much to lose, so you might as well raid them. To gather your folks and start a raid, all you do is blow your horn at the gates to the village, which is kind of a giveaway that something bad is coming, and your fighters will appear alongside you as you battle your way to the main buildings, bashing down doors and opening the huge ornate gold chests hiding behind them. The whole place is liable to set on fire once you're done, but you'll be strolling out with resources for your home, so it's best not to dwell on how you got those treasures. When you're doing all that raiding and executing a particularly ram-packed assault, quite literally, you're going to be trying out the new combat and health system in Assassin's Creed Valhalla too. Things have changed on the battlefield, and when you're sneakily stabbing fools with your hidden blade. Odyssey let you knock off a chunk of mini-bosses' health with a single stab while they were sleeping or otherwise unaware of you, in exactly the same way that you assassinate ordinary foot soldiers. Valhalla makes it trickier to assassinate mini-bosses and special classes of foes by giving you a quick-time event when you attempt a sneaky stab. Your reaction times are put to the test by pressing the button when the white and red circles collide. It makes sense that assassinating mini-bosses comes with an extra roadblock, as they are the creme de la creme of the enemy force. Odyssey had an ability where you could restore a chunk of your health, and you also eventually unlocked the ability to regenerate health gradually over time. That is not the case in Valhalla. To yank back some of your vitality, you'll need to eat mushrooms, raspberries, and golden raspberries that you'll find growing on the ground. Once your health bar is full, any extra that you pick up becomes rations that you can chomp down on when you can't forage any immediate sustenance. Exactly like Aloy's medicine pouch in Horizon Zero Dawn. Crafting arrows isn't a thing in Valhalla as far as I saw, or at least it isn't in the demo I was playing, so when I ran out I had to snatch arrows from quivers and hope I stumbled upon said quivers in the midst of battle. When you're not using a bow and arrow and instead rely on swinging your axe, or flail, or sword around, there's more emphasis on stringing together attacks and building up combos, especially where the flail is concerned, as you need to build up speed with its swings before you start doing rapid damage. Knocking down an enemy gives you the prompt to stomp on them too, often finishing them off, and you at least get to see Eivor catapult themselves at the poor fool. Firing arrows until the soldier stumbles gives you the same prompt too, but this time Eivor stuns them. You'll encounter enemies in the wide open world too, obviously, like bandits guarding a fork in the road or hunkering down in a ruined tower. But be warned, they can be mighty cunning. I was riding along when a group straight up ambushed me from some bushes, which I don't recall happening in Odyssey at all. Keep those eyes peeled when you're galloping through England, as this breed of bandits seems smarter than their Grecian friends. A couple of quality of life changes have worked their way into Valhalla too. The first one being a new radial menu where you can disguise yourself, summon your longship, call your horse, blow your horn for raids, and meditate all in one place. To say it's handy is an understatement, as it's a lot less finicky than having separate buttons for each skill. Your horse also has a gallop meter, so you can choose when to speed up, which is a change from Odyssey automatically setting your horse's speed, depending on if you were in the countryside or a town. Valhalla improves on a lot of things from Odyssey and its predecessor Origins, but it doesn't stop there. There's tons of new features added too, so let's begin.
Such odd energies, lying here unseen.
When you get near hostile territory, the red bar at the top of the screen grows to show how close you're getting to the dangerous zone, rather than it going yellow and then suddenly red like in Odyssey. So there's no longer a clear line between hostile and neutral territory, with you having to be much more wary and sneakier the bigger the red bar gets. Flyting is a neat little gambling game that you'll encounter when you clash with poets running their mouths about you, with the game mainly boiled down to you betting on how good you think you're gonna be, then picking a rhyming couplet that claps back to the previous lines spat by your opponent. Honestly, it's pretty easy to begin with, but will probably get harder as the game progresses.
Oh, you looked out with that one.
Social stealth is back in Valhalla, but, from what I saw, not in a huge capacity. Donning a cloak in suspicious territories is automatic, with those territories often being places that you can raid. But if you get too close to a guard, they'll spot you for the Viking you are and start attacking. There wasn't any advanced social stealth in the chunk I got to play, but I'm hoping that social stealth is a bigger part of Valhalla than it appears at the moment. Not a fan of songs on your longship? First off, why? But secondly, if storytime is more your kind of thing, you can choose for your companions to regale their own tales of might and valour as you sail through England's waterways. which gives me kind of God of War vibes when Mimir would tell stories to an enraptured Atreus in the rowboat. Because this is a real Viking simulator, Assassin's Creed Valhalla also has drinking games, which are pretty self-explanatory and rely on your sense of rhythm and being able to stay standing when you're hammered. You can't have an Assassin's Creed without collectibles, and although there are Roman artifacts to find, these new cursed object collectibles require you to spot and shoot them, like gargoyles in Fable 2. Emanating from them is this eerie sound. So you just have to do the whole hotter, colder thing to try and find where the cursed objects are hiding. A good clue is to look at the surroundings. Is there an ominous grisly vibe? Yes? Then there's probably a cursed object nearby. Lastly, there's more mini-bosses in Valhalla by the looks and stabs of it. As I ran into a fisherman Drenga who wanted an honourable death, Eivor is a Drenga too, it's a Norse word for warrior, and two vengeful dead sisters named Cordelia and Regan, who appeared in a hallucinogenic fury. As the latter two battles were done after Eivor had inhaled some kind of noxious gas, the sisters used Seidr, which is a Norse magic, in their attacks, making them trickier to fight than Odyssey's mercenaries or legendary beasts. They're both daughters of Lear, a legendary ancient king of the Britons, upon whom Shakespeare's King Lear is based, and both seem very pissed off that their father was killed, even though this time I totally didn't do it. And that's 18 ways Assassin's Creed Valhalla changes Assassin's Creed, yet again. If you liked the video, why not chuck it a like, and hit subscribe to see more videos from me, Aoife and Ian about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We come out with a new video every single day, so there's always something to watch. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go and hit the rhyming dictionary hard to hone my flyting skills, so I'll see you next time.